Hey, Katie, you're up there right away. Hello, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Um, I just, I know how it is trying to deal with everything with the car and everything and your health. So, um, fill us in on what's happening. I'd love to know. So, thanks so much. Oh, we have 7 people in here already. It's the first minute. Thank you guys for coming in. I really appreciate it. Hey, Vonnie, hello. How are you doing? Hey, Donald, hello. Hi, Rainbow 505. Welcome, welcome on this wonderful Monday evening. Here in Minnesota, it's very cold and rainy and blustery and trying to usher in some winter. So it's kind of crazy. So, hey, TNS dogs and dragonflies. I have my list here. Let me see. Shelly, hello. I've been doing well, thanks. How about you? Hey, Julie. Hi. Hi, Christy. Oh, Vonnie, I'm glad. Yeah, I hadn't heard any updates about how you guys were doing after your car accident, so just wanted to check in with you and see how things are going. So, Shelly, how is California? Did you make it through the electrical grid going down? Or weren't you affected there? Yeah, Katie, that does take a while when your whole muscles system has just been strained out of whack. It can take several weeks. I'm actually surprised that you're only going to the chiropractor once a week. In the past, I've had to go like 3 times a week to get straightened up for that. So yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Oh, you go every day a week. Okay. That makes a little more sense. So thanks. Well, hello, Judy. Yeah, the Windy City. Absolutely. We are right now. We're at 30-mile-an-hour northwest winds, and tomorrow is supposed to be the wind advisory. So we're gonna have, what is it, 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts up to 60, somewhere around in there. So even though we are in the middle of the continent, smack dab in the middle. I don't know if you guys have looked at a radar. I would highly encourage you to do that. It's this huge, huge swirl. I mean, it looks like what's a little fish that looks like? I'm kind of brain dead here tonight. But anyway, hey Gil, hello. Greetings to you or greetings to Idaho, I should say. So anyway, yes, it's just crazy. We had to kind of tuck everything up and batten it down, and it's cold. I think the temperatures are around 40, but the wind chills are in the upper 20s right now, and the temperatures will drop. So yeah, we're kind of there. We're kind of there this time of year. We've got the shifts coming in for everything. So thank you, Christy. I really appreciate it. I know that North and South Dakota have been getting ice with this. I'm not sure about any snow, but this is a pretty big, strong storm that's going through. Well, hello, Sunny Preps. Hello, I think you are new to my live. I don't remember seeing you before. And how is Pittsburgh? Donald, I don't know. I don't remember where you're from. So, yes, Rainbow 505, I did get my beds done in time. And I've been working on the paths between them in my garden, trying to get some new weed barrier down. So it means trying to raking out my old, or raking aside, I should say, all of the wood chips, and then putting down some new barrier, and then covering them back up again. And it's a bit of a chore. So I am videoing it though, so it'll be a little bit Well, hello, Mavis from the desert of California, soon to be from Arizona and born and raised Minnesotan. Woohoo! Yes. Well, I'm glad that you're getting out of California, so that'd be good. Although the weather going from the desert to Arizona is probably not going to be that much different. Although it depends on where in Arizona you're going. If you're going into the northern part, that'd be kind of fun. So I know a lot of homesteaders are trying to get out of there. Absolutely. So Judy, you just got in from anchoring your clematis to the deck. Oh, good. I've got stuff out in on my back step, some empty pots and stuff that will probably get blown around tomorrow. But I'm not going out in the rain right now to take care of that. I'll just have to collect them after this is done. So thank you, Sunny Preps, for coming. I really appreciate that. So fun to get some new people. So. Oh, is there another Pittsburgh? I didn't even think about that. I hear Pittsburgh and I assume that it's Pennsylvania. So, Donald, you're in Nevada. Well, hello. You'll have to check on uh, hardiness approach because, well, I don't know. Are they in Nevada or Utah? I can't remember. But they just moved out there. So I know they're trying to get some community things going on out there too. So you should check to see what's going on out there. So, Nevada. Okay. Oh, okay. North Dakota. Okay, 17 inches of snow. And that's after the 3 feet of snow they got last weekend. So, yes, it can stay away from us for a while. I am not ready to be shoveling or snow blowing at this point in time. And right now, it would be way too wet and heavy to be snow blowing. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. So you went to Stillwater the other day. Oh, I know. All of our rivers are so high. Usually at this time of year in the fall, the water levels are low, which is usually pretty good because the amount of snow we get through the year, through the winter, and then the melting in the spring. If they're low at this point, then they will be just fine in the spring without much flooding at all. But if we're already starting at flooding stage with all the rain that we've had, I mean, we are just like soaked. Yeah, I mean, there's some riverbeds that are just lakes right now, and it's going to be really bad in the spring. I can believe that they have roads blocked off and everything. Hey, JB, how are you? And Cecilia, hello. Thank you for coming. Northern Arizona. Oh, that would be so nice. So, RMBEY, what does that stand for? So you're going to Northern Arizona. So that should be, I know that's cooler up there, and I think it should be really beautiful too. So that should be kind of cool. Sunny Preps, that's a fun name. It keeps it light and wonderful, right? Oh, Pittsburgh. I keep a note here so I can try to get to know you guys a little bit better. So Katie, so you finally got your snowblower going. Okay. Yep, I've been here 24 years and I just got a snowblower 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And so, yeah, up until then, I shoveled everything and it's a lot. Hey, Thrifty VG, hello. Glad you're back home in Rhode Island. Oh, Julie, oh, it's so hard. You can certainly have some of ours. We have had so much. I did notice, though, with this storm, it went all the way into the Gulf. And so all the southern states are going to be getting some rain, which I know that they need very badly. So, so that will be good. That'll be wonderful. Well, Dave, hello. You're not that late tonight. Welcome to you. So, you went to college in Duluth. Oh, that's awesome. That is so great. What college did you go to up there? They have some good ones up there. That's for sure. Julie, I would love to give it to you. Yes. Ah, yes, Duluth is beautiful. It is beautiful. So, I just can't even imagine not getting that much rain, or not getting enough. You know, I mean, just like, and I was watching Ariel at Fineth again a couple days ago, and she said that in Wyoming they get like 2 inches of rain in like 3 months or something, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, we get that overnight, and so that is really really dry. But they make up with it like 8 feet of snow, you know, in the winter. But um, oh, good, Chrissy, you're getting a little bit of rain in there, so. At St. Scholastica. Yay, that's a good school up there. Yes. Your weeds turn to dust. Oh, goodness sakes. That is that is dry. That is very dry. So, Dave, you had 3 inches of rain the other day. Oh, good. Good. It's got to help your hookah culture going. Need that rain to help with that. So, hello, Stringfield Ridge Farm. Hi, thank you for coming from Kentucky. Uh, got a lot of awesome people here tonight. Thank you so much. So fun to catch up with you, to visit, find out what you've been doing this last week, what your weekends were like. That's kind of the fun thing about having Monday, because I'm just getting you guys right off the weekend, and you can tell me all about things that were going on and um, stuff like that. So thanks, Donald. Thank you. Um, So you student taught at Two Harbors. Oh my goodness, Two Harbors is so beautiful up there. You know, you go from Duluth. If anybody knows the geography of Minnesota, um, it's kind of shaped like a K. So the top angle that goes up there from Duluth on up, you've got Duluth and then Two Harbors and Gooseberry Falls, then all the way up to Grand Marais, which is just shy of the Canadian border up there. And then beyond that is Thunder Bay, um, Ontario, and different things like that. So it just follows along the north shore of Lake Superior. And it is absolutely gorgeous up there. Oh, Minnesota has so much in its geography. And we go from in the southern part to obviously, well, rolling hills around the river areas and everything, but also just thousands and thousands of millions of acres of just flat prairie land. And then we get into the forests, and then we have like small mountain ranges, and then the lakes, and I mean over 10,000 lakes, and it's amazing the variety that we have here. It's so beautiful. So many people just like leave Minnesota to go somewhere else for vacation, and everybody else comes to Minnesota for vacation. And you know, it would, if we could just spend our time here in our state and visit the things that are here. There's so much, and we have a fairly big state too. It takes um, Judy and Katie, I'm trying to think, it takes a good 8 hours to drive from north to south, at least probably 10 hours to drive from the top to the bottom of the state. So, because I know for me to go up to um, the Canadian border from where I'm at, it's about 5 hours, and then and I'm about in the middle of the state. So, yeah, I would say a good 10 hours. So it's a big distance, you know. Um, yes, Dave. Katie is Katie. Um, oh, you already took care of that, so thanks. uh, Cecilia, I did. I'm still in the process of filling them, because where the boards meet, the two layers, I caulk them, and I'm still, because the temperatures have been so cool, I'm trying to give them as much time to cure as I can. I've got them filled up to about an inch below the caulk line. So they so I've got a layer of wood mulch, dirt, some more wood mulch, some more dirt, and then I'm gonna, with all this wind, all our leaves are coming down, so I'm gonna rake up a bunch of leaves, put those in there, and then fill it in with more dirt, as well as just whatever else I can find in there, and just get them all filled up for the winter. So, but yeah, the three that are done, and like David mentioned in one of his comments when I built that, is it's like, wouldn't cedar be better for that? And yes, it would. If you guys need to build some beds and you want to do it like this or whatever, if you're able to afford it, I highly recommend cedar because it won't rot. It'll last far longer, and so in the long run, it's much better use of your money. But when I built these, I built 9 beds all at one time, and I just didn't have the money for that. So as I go to replace these older beds now, which I think I'm going to have to start to do that next year, I'm hoping that I'll be able to afford to do cedar as I can replace them, but we'll see. It all depends. So I prefer wood over metal and everything. It's just kind of a personal thing. So I just like the rustic look of it. And also in the heat of the summer, and as well as the cool nights coming into the fall and in the spring, but the metal, I would think, would heat up the soil and cool it down so much more quickly, whereas the wood boxes can regulate that temperature a little bit more. And I just like like I said, the rustic look of it. So that's kind of cool. So let me see, catch up on I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody. Oh, Dave, that's kind of nice, being in Montreal in 4.5 hours. Yeah, I'm probably 7 hours from Winnipeg. That would be my closest big city. Hey, Grammy Karen, hello. Thanks for coming. Good evening to you. Who else do we have? Oh, thanks, Grammy. Yep, yeah, Dave. The metal is a conductor, so you know, you probably get some what we do too. We've just hit extreme heat and extreme cold. You guys, okay, comprehend this, or try to anyway. In the summer, we can have a heat index easily of 110. And in the winter, we can easily have wind chills of 70 below, maybe 80 below. It depends, but 70 below. We can get wind chills there. So the actual temperature of what things feel like, that's a difference of 180 degrees from heat to cold within a few months. And it's like, that is it is radical. It is really, really tough. For those of you in California, or even in the deep south or something, where your temperatures maybe fluctuate 40 degrees from season to season or something like that. I know it's hard for you to understand, but 180 degrees. So not only do we physically, our bodies need to get used to that, but we've got to prepare everything outside and utilize the materials that can withstand those kind of changes. So it gets really, really crazy. So yep. Chill index minus 50 to 125. Yeah. So you totally get what I'm saying. Yep. Redwood, yes, redwood is another good one. And Dave, I think you had mentioned that too, but yeah, redwood or cedar. And in California, I imagine redwood is much more available than it is here. But anyway, hey, Abiding Acres. Hello, how are you doing? She's from Ontario also. So redwood is a much lighter wood too, lighter in weight. So if you're building big beds, it's more easy to lift and move and everything. My pine beds, oh my gosh, they're even just the 1x8s that when you get the two layers together and the braces on everything, um, they had to have weighed at least 150 pounds, at least that. It was hard to even move them, maybe 200 pounds. I don't know, but they were they were substantial. And I realized that when I built my other ones, um, 6 years ago, and I put them in there, I actually placed the bottom layer down. I was able to carry one layer at a time, put that down where I wanted it, and then I built the other one and put it right on top of it and left it right in that spot. And then I was able to put the braces on the corners and everything. Well, where I put these new ones, it was right up against the fence, and it just wasn't working out to be able to get in there and drill, and connect them and different things. So I had to put them together and then move them. And oh my goodness, they were heavy. So, yes, Stringfield, Teresa, yes, it's in Kentucky. I can see that you're getting a front coming through too. So I'm sure you're gonna get rain and all that good stuff. So uh, yeah, Ohio does get some crazy weather too. So Julie, your family moved from Michigan to Arizona when you were 3. They were done with the cold. That happens. Yes. Yes. As long as I can be dressed well, have a car that can get through what I need to drive through and get around in. And then I'm able to be tucked in my house and it's warm and the things I'm not losing power and stuff like that. I can deal with the cold. I will say though, by March it gets really old. So I was looking at the NOAA forecast again, and it's showing, I didn't look past, but January, February, March, below normal temperatures, above normal precipitation. So we're going to have a repeat winter of last year's, if not worse. So Bonnie, Katie, and anybody else here from Minnesota, yeah, we kind of have to kind of prepare ourselves for that. We're not going to get a bye this year. So, okay, what should I research, Dave? New pressure-treated wood is preserved with a copper salt. It's not water soluble, so it does not get moved into the soil. It's ultra low toxicity. Pressure-treated wood preserved with copper salt. What do they preserve pressure-treated wood with now? So like the treated pine, is it chemicals? I guess I just know that it's not good stuff to have in there, but copper salt. Concrete blocks too, Chrissy, that works really good. It'd be what's really, really nice about those, that if you have the open holes, if you can keep the weeds down because they will come up through there, but then you can actually put like hoops in those holes and be able to have your beds covered then. So that can kind of work really cool too. Yeah, concrete blocks, those will last forever. The nice thing about that, you can also make them bigger or smaller. You can rearrange the blocks, just whatever you need to do. So that would be a great thing. The only thing you have to be careful of is when you're digging in there, you're not ramming your knuckles into the cement and stuff like that. So, excuse me. Okay, Dave, thanks. I will research that because I will need to, I won't be building the beds in the spring because everything's ready, and I'm just going to have to get growing right away. So it won't be until next fall, or as the beds empty out or something like that, then I will be able to rebuild them. So I do have a little bit of time. I'll just have to tuck some money away for that. Oh, Shelly, oh, that's great. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, how do you like the 5 by 10? For me, at my age, when I'm even the 4 foot wide beds, it's hard to get to the middle. Even with my raised beds and a little stool I sit on, trying to get in there. But and see, if you're much younger, it's easier to get in there. So just wondering how you do with a 5 foot bed when you're reaching in and weeding and stuff, 2 feet, 2.5 feet in. So, but that's great. Yeah, and you know what? Probably the bigger the beds, the less wood you end up using overall. So, I mean, not that much less, but there is a certain amount less there too. So, hey, the Hive in the Homestead. Hello, how are you doing? It is Joey and Jesse. Haven't seen you for a while, but thanks for coming. Thank you. Yes, Karen, it's going to be a long winter for us. Yeah, I didn't even, after I saw the January, February, March, is like, I don't even want to look beyond that. We'll still have snow well into May again. I just can't do that. So I think one of the things that we're definitely going to have to look at, though, and keep in mind when we start in a couple months from now, start getting seeds and planting and everything, to really, really look at crops that are short term, like 90 or less. You know, it's like especially if you're growing any type of melons, or even the tomatoes, try to get them all early producers so that we have that time to be able to have them grow and harvest, and because we get into the intense heat in July, and that ends up killing all the blossoms and making like the squash blossoms sterile and all that kind of good stuff that's going on. So yeah. So Shelly, you're one of those crazy people who love the snow and winter. Well, I don't think you're so crazy. So Christy, you remember when you lived in Kansas, you always stocked up your car trunk. Oh, you know what? That is a very good thing. Yes. I always keep blanket. Whenever I have to go anywhere and it's really, really cold, I make sure I have like snow pants, and when I'm wearing my boots, of course, but yeah, snow pants, scarf, extra mittens, hat, all this stuff. Throw that in there. But as far as like other supplies, water is not a thing that I can keep in the car. I can bring a bottle of water with me, but otherwise, if I keep it in the car, it's frozen solid because my car stays outside. And as well as like any MEs or anything like that, any other food, probably could keep like a bag of granola or something in there, but anything else would be frozen. So I'm not sure, but yeah, and flashlights I can keep up to a point in my glove box, because otherwise the cold ends up killing the batteries too. It runs them down, and then I have a dead battery in there. So it's just kind of rotating things around, making sure I have what I need. I think I do more in the way of when I go out to be on the road, I bring fresh stuff with me, and I know what I've got in there, so that if anything were to happen, I could at least, hike it 3 or 4 miles or something, whatever I needed to do. So in that way, I try to be prepared in that way. So Gil says, when you were in high school in Arizona, oh, Northern Grand Canyon, I have not seen the Grand Canyon yet. That's one of my places I want to get to. Summer temps were 110 most of the summer. Yeah, I can believe that. You're all ready, Katie? Oh, that's awesome. I know I'm getting way behind here. So where am I here? Hello to Family Homestead. Thank you for coming. Appreciate that. And Michigan Daffodil. Oh, I got behind on my stuff here. So Shelly, you always keep candles and matches in your car in the winter. Oh, okay. That is a really good idea. Thank you for letting me know that. I will add that to my list. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight, I was in a nearby town on Friday, and you know, for those of you who have Perkins in your areas, I don't know if that's through the South or in California or not, but around the North here, we have big restaurants, a chain of restaurants called Perkins, and they have these huge flags. I mean, like absolutely huge, like almost the size of the ones that they fly over the Capitol building. It's really huge. Hello, Loma Acres. Thank you for coming. Um, but anyway, I was in this nearby town and at Perkins, and they had the flag at half staff. Oh, I want to first of all say, a lot of us, we use the term half staff and half mast. So half mast, though, only deals with a flag that's flying on a boat or a ship because it's a mast that's on a boat. And a staff is our flag poles, our mast, whatever we have here. So anyway, so the half staff. And it was flying half staff, and I was just trying to think. It was like, I don't know what it's for. It's like I hadn't heard about anything on the news. I hadn't heard about anything, any other tragedy that had happened or anything like that. And so I was like, what's going on? So I actually came home and did a little research, and I just wanted to share this with you. But so anyway, the flag code, there's actually a code for the flag. It says, by order of the president, the flag shall be flown at half staff upon the death of principal figures of the United States government and the governor of a state, territory, or possession as a mark of respect to their memory. So whenever we have, a major, like I said, government, a principal figure, they do that. And so what I didn't realize is that Representative Elijah Cummings of Maryland died on the 17th. So which was what was that? Wednesday. Yeah. So anyway, the order was from that point through the 19th. Through the 18th. Because the 19th was Saturday. Okay. So anyway, Thursday and Friday, they're supposed to fly the flag at half staff in honor of him as a presidential order. At the same time, there were other orders that came through from other state governors. So there were actually 10 or 11 here. So Wisconsin, these were other people who had died very recently. State Representative Joseph Trigoning in Wisconsin, former Governor William Milliken from Michigan. South Dakota was a former legislator, Joyce Hodges. In Indiana was a state trooper, Peter Bo Stephan. In North Carolina, it was U.S. Army Private Andrew McLean. He died during a training exercise. He was with the 3rd Battalion, 60th Infantry Regiment. In Virginia, there was a former Virginia delegate, Alan Diamondstein. In New Jersey, Speaker Bill Hamilton. All of these people had died. And in Hawaii, former Maui County Council Chairman Danny Mateo. So a county council chairman. So I guess they must think that he was a prominent principal figure. So anyway, the last time that flags were flown half-staff nationally was October 6th in honor of fallen firefighters. So anyway, flying the flag at half-staff is a sign of mourning, that it means that our town, our state, or our nation is sharing a moment of grief. And so I think most of you know that and everything, but I was like, Okay, you know, we've gotten so used to, which is a horrible thing, that we've gotten used to, like, okay, when there's a shooting somewhere, the flags go half staff. When there's this other disaster, the flags go half staff. You know, and it's like, so we forget that it's really meant to be in honor of, like you said, this principal figure that somebody has passed away, and we honor that. And so, um, even I was getting into that mentality. It was like, was there a shooting somewhere? Was there something going on, that some tragedy that had happened? And so, so anyway, I've got more to talk about here, but I just want to catch up real quick. What are we doing? So, I'm sorry, got behind here. Oh, so you guys are all talking about prepping, so yeah, there are a lot of people dying. I mean, my little parish, my church, I mean, we don't have that many, you know, maybe 80 families or something. We had 3 funerals this last week, and 2 men that died of massive heart attacks. I mean, it's happening fast. So buy at a military surplus store. Hey, Max, happy family, or happy homestead, sorry. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. So anyway, oh, Dave, okay. Fly your flag upside down if you have an emergency, a natural disaster, etc. Okay. You know what? I had read that, but I forgot to make a note of that here. So anyway, wanted to give you a little bit of other information on this. In the United States, one of the earliest references to a half-staff flag order came after the death of George Washington, when the Navy ordered all their vessels to wear their colors half-mast high. So with their very first president, it was right down there. On Memorial Day, it should be flown half-staff in remembrance of deceased service members, but only from dawn until noon. Then the flag is quickly raised full staff until sunset to honor living military veterans. So when you do fly it half staff, it should first be hoisted all the way to the peak for an instant and then lowered to the half staff position. Then the flag should be again raised to the peak before it's lowered for the day. So it has to go all the way up to honor that this flag in our country, on our land, is supreme. I don't know what you want to say, but it takes first place over all things. So if you only pull it up the pole to the half point and that's it, then you're not honoring our country over like other state flags or things like that that might be flying. It could be your Norwegian family flag or whatever, so you want to make sure that oh, thank you so much. Appreciate Ozark Mountain Goats. Hello. Thank you for coming. What else do I have here? Okay. So the American Legion flies half staff on 4 set days in the year. So, Bev, there was a U.S. representative from Maryland who died on Thursday, and so there's a presidential order out to fly them half staff. It was Representative Elijah Cummings of Maryland, and then there were a bunch of other state governors that got on the bandwagon for other prominent figures in their states that were also part of that. So, okay, yes, the peak is respect. Thank you, Dave. You're just such a great extra little informational person here. So I appreciate that. So Christy, you were Navy. You could hear taps from your house. Oh, that would be so cool. The extra effort is not relevant. What do you mean there? mean bringing it all the way up to the top or something? Um, so anyway, the American Legion flies their flags on May 15th, which is the Peace Officers Memorial Day, on September 11th, which we know 9/11. It's also called Patriot Day. The first Sunday in October, which is National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Service, and then December 7th, which is Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. So that is, those are the days that they're typically done. We have Veterans Day coming up November 11th, and then Flag Day in our US is June 14th. Oh, sorry, I got something in my eye. Do have one thing extra with this, and this comes from the National Flag Foundation, and it's on usflag.org, but the National Flag Foundation, and they talk about good faith misunderstandings. So they totally understand where they're coming from, and but this is something to pass on to, is that there is, even though that they try to make the flag standards very, very clear, there's still confusion that occurs. So for example, U.S. Attorney Janet Reno had ordered the American flag flown at half-staff on all U.S. Department of Justice buildings in honor of several DEA agents who had died. While the National Flag Foundation understands this gesture, the flag code does not give her the authority to issue that order. So there was another governor who ordered all flags flown to honor the victims of a plane crash. Here again, a well-intentioned gesture. Now, these are probably years ago. Well-intentioned gestures, but one for which no authority exists. So, so they're trying to preserve the dignity and the significance of flying the flag at half-staff. So they're not trying to criticize or embarrass anybody or anything, but anyway, it should be, it says that we need to have proper respect for our flag, and that we owe that respect to our living, our dead, and our flag. So it, it's there's, like Dave said, respect. There's there's just a lot of stuff there that's that we've lost in there, and so yes, it's come down for like every school shooting. It's come down for every tragedy, everything that's going down there, and that's why when I saw it at half staff on Friday, I was like, okay, what happened? What's this for? Instead of being tuned into what it really, really means and what it's really for. Hearing Boy Scout Dave things, yes. We've lost that, and again, something that happens over and over again. It's like, oh, the flag's down again. Okay, the flag's down again. We lose that sense of importance for it. We lose the sense of what it's for. Of we don't even recognize that it's down or up or anything anymore, because it's like down half the time now, which is very, very unfortunate, because that means that there's so much tragedy going on, and that's horrible that all that's happening. But at the same time, we need to honor this. So so anyway, just a little bit of trivia going on here. So Dave says that yes, going to the top is for respect. The extra effort is not important. It's all about the respect of bringing that flag to the top for first honor. Yep. Yeah, the folding is huge too. Your brother was an Eagle? Yeah. My dad and two of my brothers were Eagle Scouts, and a third brother who was just one like paper. He had to write a paper on something, and that's all he needed to do for his Eagle too, but he didn't do it. So yes. So Dave, I know it's like learning all that stuff that most people don't learn, and which is really it's really very sad. So Shelley, you were the sergeant at arms for your Ladies Legion Auxiliary. Oh, that's so great. Um, well, thanks, Bonnie. That's great. Yeah, you know, I've mentioned before that patriotism runs deep in my family, and I think honoring our flag is really huge. The compliance for display and care of the flag is a U.S. federal law. Penalty for disrespect is typically not enforced, though, but I didn't even want to go into what the penalties are because nobody's complying to it. I mean, we're not even supposed to be using images of the flag like on our clothes or stickers on our car or anything like that. But that's and I didn't want to get into any of that debate and all that kind of stuff. That's just what the code said, and so I'm just leaving all that alone. But yeah, I think it's probably pretty cool thing there. So, Bonnie, say hello to your son for me. I appreciate him watching, so that's great. So anyway, uh, do we have any other Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts in here? I was a Girl Scout too, and a Girl Scout leader back before it all changed. So, Gil, thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate it. So remodeling, oh, you've got a lot of work going on there. So, Christy, you still tear up over the flag, and it really makes me angry those who abuse our country. Yeah, because the flag, it's not just an image. It's not just a piece of cloth out there. It's everything. It represents every drop of blood that people have shed to make that possible. So, oh, Thrifty VG, thanks. That's great. Yeah. Oh, we've got a lot of scouts in here then. We do. Yeah, it's important. So with Veterans Day coming up in a couple weeks, just want to kind of put that out there and let everybody figure that out and kind of look at things and it's I mean, like some of the details, we're not supposed to allow a flag to touch the ground, if it's flying or if we drop it on the ground or anything like that. It's yes, the folding is there's very specific things. I just went to in August my uncle's funeral. He was a veteran, and so he had a soldier there that was, a couple of them that were folding the flags, and it was just the precision and the care and how the time that they take with doing that is just so beautiful to watch, and it does choke you up. I mean, it really does. So Michigan Daffodil said, you knew somebody that's now 35 who said no idea about the flag not touching the ground. Wow. Yeah. And I don't know, I think a lot of it has to do with taking the Pledge of Allegiance out of the schools because they talk about one nation under God. So they don't want to have the Pledge of Allegiance going anymore. When we do that, we're not giving that allegiance to the flag. It's flying on the flagpole in the center of the schoolyard or whatever, but that's it, or in front of the school. So kids are not growing up. I mean, you look at like Wyatt Stivers, and Precious, so he's standing there, with his hand over his heart and doing that, and it's and saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and it's like so beautiful, so beautiful. You go to went to a couple baseball games this summer, and of course they always start the games with the flag flying and the national anthem. There's so many people that I would say maybe a fourth of the people still think of either taking their hats off or putting their hand on their heart. I mean, they don't know. They don't. Yes, Shelley, we'll be praying for Canada. I know those are elections are really, really tough, sometimes scary. So But oh, the changing of the guard in Arlington, yes. Oh my goodness, that's just fantastic. Um, it really is. So it is. Even if you can just watch it on a video where they show them out in the middle of storms and everything else, and they're standing there and they're not letting anything interfere with their duties, and the honor that every soldier feels in being a guard out there is just it's amazing. Oh, Bev, you know what? I don't know the meaning of each fold of the flag. That is really cool. Can I find it online? I didn't know there was a meaning to each single fold that went there. Oh, wow. Yes, Canada is a wonderful country, so exactly, exactly. Brenda, it's Michigan Daffodil. It's like saying the pledge makes no difference to flag if it's not taught. Okay, yeah, but I think, and I did miss that piece in there, but I think it's kind of like the out of sight, out of mind. If they're not even doing it anymore, then they don't grow in that respect of what the flag means, of what it's there. So, but definitely. So, um, okay, I will find that, Katie. So thank you. So yeah. So what do people have in store for this coming week? For myself, I mean, you can see it's already pitch dark outside. Black. And we're in June. We've got probably, what is it, 15 and a half hours of daylight. We're now down to about 10 and a half hours of daylight. In 2 more months, we'll be down to about 8 hours of daylight. So it happens quickly, very quickly. So at this point now, by 6 o'clock Central Time, it's the sun is going down and it's pitch black out there right now. So, but yeah, just after all this wind and storm gets done, I have to continue on outside and finish up winter prep, and there's just always so much to get done. Most years I don't finish it all, but I try to get done as much as I can, and because it just means a whole lot less that has to get done in the spring, or it means also fewer issues that I will have throughout the winter if I'm able to take care of things. So, yeah, Arlington, Virginia. Oh, Arlington Cemetery in DC. Yes, Arlington, Virginia um, is also home of a lot of patriotic things. So, kind of the whole area kind of blends all in together. But yeah, it's raining and blowing like crazy. I was telling them at the beginning that we have right now 30-mile-an-hour north to northwest winds, and let me check again here. And tomorrow we will have the wind advisories, so it's going to increase even more. So yeah, our actual right now it warmed up a little bit, but my temp is 43, wind chill is 32. But by tomorrow, yeah, the next 3 or 4 nights we have nights below freezing. Actually, in the next 10 days we only have one night that's above freezing. So everything else can be down in the 20s and 30s. So we are working on solidifying our land, turning into the tundra that we are. Uh, okay, Shelly, you're going to mulch your beds, put them to sleep for the winter. Yep. Dave, you stepped away for 60 seconds. Oh, hi, Monique. Thank you so much. You guys, I'm so honored that all of you just watch and that you come to my live. And it's like, thank you. So you had bad wind last Thursday? Oh, okay. Yeah, 50 miles an hour. Yeah, we're going to get at least that tomorrow. So my house will stand, but I do have some garden equipment outside yet that's it's going to blow around. I'll just have to go around and pick it up. So anyway, all you guys, do you have any questions real quick? We've got a couple minutes left. For those of you who are new, I'm here in West Central Minnesota. I started my channel first of the year. Actually, it was like very end of December, but I really didn't do much until January. So, what is it? Most of my content is gardening and Minnesota stuff and things like that. So DIYs. So Bev, I'm more west than you are, so I'm getting more wind. Ah, okay. Yeah, there's a wind it'll knock the side of the house and just like, it's crazy. So thank you, Max. I'm glad that you were able to catch me too. I really, really appreciate it. Aw, Dave, thank you. Thanks. You guys let me know if there's stuff that you want to, talk about and hear about and everything. So, but in this next hour, in a couple more minutes, we've got Stivers are coming up, and I'm not sure Big Family Homestead's going to be on. Then after that, there's Two Family Homestead, and we've got Freedom Homestead, and there's a bunch of great channels that are on tonight, and I just encourage you to watch them because I know that they support me too, as well as you guys are supporting me, and in coming to it, I'm not monetized yet by any means. So, but thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. So anyway, you guys, thanks for coming, and I so appreciate you. You're some of the best, and I just love being able to connect with all of you from all over, not only the nation, but internationally. So it's just so fun. So you guys, thanks, Max. So yeah, Monday nights are wonderful. They're really wonderful. Thank you, Katie. Really appreciate it. So yes, I'm going to try to stay warm, and we will see you guys next Monday. All right. Take care. God bless. Always have hope. Bye-bye.